How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Cryptos are falling, especially altcoins, with XRP down to $2.08, with Solana also down significantly today. 210. We have Pepe down 11%. If you go to CoinMarketCap, it shows like 17%. Now, is this something to be worried about? Should you exit your positions? Should you set yourself up to buy more? Should you go leverage more? Should you sell your house and sell your kids and sell your wife to go buy more? We'll talk about that. And I also want Tyler from Tyler Hill Investing to show us the Pepe chart as well. A little bit later in the video, I'll leave a link to him underneath. If you want to trade crypto, there's a link to BTCC underneath the video. You can set up your account in just a few minutes and you can start trading. I actually just put in a limit order to add to my XRP position on BTCC. Again, if you want to use the link underneath, you get lower trading fees. You get a deposit on your first time, 10% first time deposit. Of course, make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you understand the risks of leverage trading and using exchanges, but you can make some pretty good sums of money, and it's kind of like dynamite. It can blow you up or it can get the job done a lot faster when using leverage. Now, as I said, like if we just scroll through, we actually just fell under 95 for Bitcoin and it's bouncing a little bit. We have Ethereum around 3,600, XRP down around $2, down 13%, Solana down 7%, Cardano down 15%, Avalanche down 12%, Shiba Inu down 16%. Bitcoin dominance is moving up. Let's actually pull up Bitcoin dominance here. It went from just a few days ago under 55% to now all the way up to 58%. Now it's in around 57.5%. Bitcoin dominance going higher because there are a lot of liquidations that are really affecting altcoins even more than Bitcoin. We had 1.67 billion wrecked in the last 24 hours, 1.5 billion of which were longs. So a lot of people having to force close positions, which causes liquidation cascades, which causes the price to go down even faster and faster and faster until we hit a bottom, someone buys, and then the market resets. Now, to be clear, I think there's a lot of good news. I actually just made a video showing like the one part of maybe negative news that people are worried about. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's about the news from Google with their new quantum computing chip. Some people are worried that Bitcoin's going to be hacked. I'm not worried about that, but I think it's something that you should pay attention to and understand, at least at a rudimentary level. On the other hand, we have more and more news, good news coming out all the time. We got news that the ETFs bought almost $500 million yesterday after 376 million the day before, after $750 million the day before. Like they just continue to stack hundreds of millions of dollars. And we have other companies buying as well. Mara just bought 12,000 Bitcoin. And this kind of stuff continues to happen. There's so much good news coming out this week about different countries wanting to buy or putting their resources behind. But yet we still have crypto falling. This is something that's very healthy. I think it's good for the market, and it's something that allows you to get in at better prices. Actually, if we look into the cryptoverse, there's a link to this underneath the video. You can see the historical risk levels. Let's actually just zoom out here. Typically, we move up into the 0.8 range at the top of the bull market. This is on Bitcoin specifically. We got up to about 0.7 back when we hit 70K in March. Like we moved up very quickly. Then we came down, even though we were trending sideways, and sure, we took a $20,000 hit towards the bottom. Risk went all the way down to 0.45, and even though we've come up in price a significant amount, right, we're well above where we were back in March. We're $22,000 higher. Risk has come down because we've had long enough to cool off, for the market to cool off, for liquidations, for large entities to start buying. The RSI has come down. So I think these kinds of sideways times with altcoins are also good. You can actually, into the cryptoverse, if you didn't know this, you can go to Screener, and then you can look at all different kinds of cryptos and their historical risks. So let's go over some of the ones in the title. We have Ripple, right? XRP. Just a few days ago, it made a massive move from 50 cents all the way up to almost $3. The risk went from 0.38 to 0.85. So near the top of the risk band, let's actually show here. Typically, XRP gets up to about 1 during the peak of the market. Pretty consistently, it goes up to 1. And it got close to it. It got up to 0.85. Now, since the price has come down to $2, it's down at 0.7. So it's starting to cool down. I think this is healthy for the price in the time and risk bands. As we come down, we spend more and more time in these low risk bands, right? In the bear market, during the bull market, it's very hard to stay in this upper risk band for very long. Now, I still think we can make a move back up to the upside, and the fact is if we move up to the same price after we've come down a bit, there isn't as much risk, right? When you've hit price discovery or the highest price that we've had in several years, and you do that in a couple weeks, there's a lot of price risk. Solana has been cooling off for a while. You can see here, fiat risks, it's about 0.7, but you can see it moved up very quickly recently. The price went up to 260 earlier in the year. It went up to 200, right? The price was at 200 and the risk was much higher than it is now. Price hitting 200 put it at 0.83 risk. Now we're at 0.75 risk, and I think this is actually a day delayed, but this was when the price was 240. So now we're even lower risk yet. Let's go to Pepe, right? Pepe is right here, down 14%. And this is the risk in fiat terms, not the risk in Bitcoin terms. So Bitcoin obviously has moved up. When you look at Bitcoin dominance, they price it. Actually, it looks like you can't get into Pepe, but you can do Cardano, let's say. So again, fiat risk higher than Bitcoin risk because Bitcoin has gone up significantly. You know, if something were going up against Bitcoin very significantly, then there would be a higher Bitcoin risk. But as you can see here, like Pepe, still far away from where it was, or Cardano, still far away from where it was last cycle. The risk went up to 1, and now we're at like a 0.6. And we've come down even over the last few days when we were at 120, 125. We were at 0.68 risk. Now we're at 0.6 risk with it under $1. So overall, I think this is very healthy for altcoins. How I'm approaching this is I have some limit orders set. If we fall down further, I'll fill those limit orders. I have a lot of long-standing orders and a lot of long-standing positions where I got in on low leverage. You can see like 5x, 6x. On some of my other portfolios, I have some more risky leverage plays, but the fact is you don't need 100x leverage to help to get outsized returns, right? Like if XRP, let's say XRP goes up to $10 and I buy it now at $2 and I sell it early at $6, I get a 3x. But let's say I have 5x leverage, that's a 15x return. That is better than if I timed it perfectly, almost. That would be better than if I, bought at 50 cents a couple weeks ago and held it to $7. So even though you're a little bit late, you could withstand, if you can withstand these kinds of drops, which what I would do, again, if you get liquidated, let's say I buy at $2.05 and I'm on 10x leverage, right? So I have 20 cents basically before I would get liquidated. I put another limit order right before liquidation. So that way, eventually I can nail the bottom. So let's say we go down to 180. I get liquidated on the new position that was 205, but I opened the position at 180, and then I would put another position for 162 basically, and then continue to layer down and just know that I could get liquidated, right? So eventually I think we will bounce. Of course, you don't want to do this at the top of the bull market, but I think from what I'm showing, there's still a long way to go in this bull market. I think we have a lot of catalysts moving forward. I do want to take a look at the Pepe chart. This is actually going to come from Tyler Hill. So Tyler, over to you.
I appreciate the intro there, Sam. And yeah, look, let's get straight into it because honestly, what we saw from Pepe was absolute insanity. So I'm sure unless you live under a rock, everyone saw what happened yesterday. Obviously, we saw some of our top cryptos. I mean, we're talking top 20, top 30s dropping 20, 30% over the span of an hour or two, absolutely decimating the market. But Pepe, on the other hand, just decided, nah, not today. I'm not in the mood today. And Pepe literally held up extremely well. Pepe was one of the top performers yesterday throughout the entire day. And It's not like you wouldn't expect that from Pepe, but quite frankly, like, meme coins don't do that during crashes. Oftentimes when things start crashing, people just go straight to the safest thing that they can. Bitcoin, Ethereum, even Solana to some degree, right? Going towards those top cryptos because they know they'll be around. So whenever you see a meme coin doing something like this, it's something that you have to pay attention to. Because in a moment where we're seeing, strong utility driven L1s and L2s dropping 25-30%, but Pepe's dropping 15%, it's something that you just have to take notice of. Now the question becomes, well, why? Right? The question becomes why. My general thesis as to why we saw Pepe absolutely go ham yesterday, I mean, really hold up extremely well, is because of this general support we have below us. Do you remember in the last time I was on your channel when we were talking about Pepe, I said, this green box is going to make all the world of difference. I said that if we can break this green box right here, which is the macro Fibonacci zone from this swing high down to this swing low, if we can break this green box, it's going to be what opens up the door for Pepe's price to, over the long term, start pushing up towards, 3.5 cents, or not 3.5 cents, but 3.5, 4, roughly those areas up there. Well, what we saw, of course, recently has been that Pepe's price did get a systematic breakout of that green box. I mean, we had the descending channel, we broke out above it, hit the green box, got rejected, set in the resistance, came back down, flipped the actual channel itself into some support, used that support to push back up towards the top side, put in the little cup and handle pattern, and then broke towards the upside, clearing the green box. Well, what do you know? As Pepe's price does break above it, it has to start doing what? Back testing, of course. Comes back down, hold support, hold support, hold support, hold support. And even in a day like yesterday, when Pepe's price is getting absolutely slaughtered, what happens? It comes back down and it holds that green box as support. This is a good sign that exactly what we have been talking about could very well be on the way. Pepe making a sustainable long-term move towards the upside. And the reason that I say that is because not that for sure Pepe's price isn't going to go through the green box. Oh no, it very well may. But the whole point is that the bulls are stepping in this zone when they need to. And during bull markets, that's all you have to ask, or that's all we can ask for, quite frankly, is that the bulls step in when they need to. In times where the bears are winning and they're gaining momentum, can the bulls step in and break up that momentum? Because if they can, over a sustained period of time, the bears will run out of energy. You got to think, we're in a bear market. At some given point, we're going to, or we're sorry, no, we're not in a bear market, obviously. We're in a bull market. And at some given point throughout that bull market, the bears are going to run out of energy. Bears just don't have unlimited gas during a bull market. Why? Because they're swimming against the tide. The tide's coming this way and they're trying to go against it. And so they might get some progress. They may make a little bit of progress forward, but eventually they will, just like everybody, end up right back on the same bus that we're all on, which is going straight upwards. And so because of that, in a moment like this, of course, all we want to see is the bull step in. And in a major resistance zone like this, one zone that rejected us here and rejected us here and rejected us here, that's what you need to see. You need to see a zone like this putting up a battle. Because what this means is that either we're gonna hold here and continue upwards and this will be a macro RS flip, or we're gonna see this zone act as a major speed bump, and even if Pepe's price does pull back a little bit more toward its bottom side Fibonacci's, it will very likely hold up support and then try to continue upwards. This is a great battle, and the fact that the bulls won this yesterday just goes to show how strong that bullish momentum is. And you gotta imagine, if something like Pepe can see the bulls step in and slow down that momentum during those crashes, imagine what can happen when we go back into real altcoin season. Imagine what can happen when we're seeing those 30% days across the market. Pepe's price could absolutely fly. And so because of that, although you may not recognize it if you're just looking at an empty chart, right? And you may say, oh, Pepe pulled back yesterday. No, it's so much bigger than that, because Pepe is flipping these resistance points into support points. The bulls are stepping in when they need to, zapping the energy of the bears, and allowing Pepe to be in a position to where when the market does start to move upwards, Pepe is going to not only fall in line, but it might lead the line. And I think Pepe making these beautiful moves of 40-50% to the upside are very, very possible and probable. And so because of that, I loved what I saw yesterday. It was a super good sign for Pepe, and I do think that it doesn't tell that we could see some great gains coming when the timing is right. Obviously, Pepe is going to fall in line with the market. When Bitcoin starts moving in and ETH start moving in and the market starts moving in, Pepe will too. But I think Pepe could go further faster as a result of all of this that we're seeing, and that's obviously a great sign for all of us who are bulls on Pepe. And so, of course, with that said, that's a quick update for the day for you and your audience. And of course, back to you, my friend.
Check out Tyler's channel too. Thanks, Tyler, for telling us what you're seeing on the Pepe chart. Now, at the beginning of the video, I kind of teased whether it was time to, sell everything and go all in. The fact is, we're in a bull market, right? We are partway through a bull market. So I'm not getting overly aggressive. Yeah, I talk about leverage trading, and I use a small portion of my portfolio for that, but I'm not going all in on this dip. The fact is, I've accumulated over time. I'm very comfortable. I think a lot of actually getting out of this market safely is around your psychology. So if all of a sudden you're seeing this dip, this 5% dip on Bitcoin and 10, 15% on altcoins, and you're thinking, I need to shove as much money as possible at this, it will probably work out for you, but long term, that might be a risky way of approaching the market. Dollar cost averaging is typically the best solution for most people. But I do think, this is a nice low dip. I do think we're probably going to go up. So again, I think you'll probably be fine, but I wouldn't approach it with this mentality. Now, let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Again, if you want to trade crypto, there's a link to BTCC. Thank you so much. Check out the link underneath the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.